It has been a minute since I've done one of these. I don't even have coffee to do it. But these thoughts are so prevalent that it's important that I get them out of my head and into existence. So 10 years ago today, 2/21/2014, February 21st of 2014, is when I was first introduced to Medical Qigong. I was introduced through a seminar. It was called the theory of the five element theory, or theory of the five elements, whatever. It was run by this guy named Isaac, and it was out in Chicago, or New Lenox, Illinois, same shit. Excuse me, sir. Make your lane. And so I am now going, right? So I've been going there, I've been training, etc. I've been learning and jumping into Qigong, and some shit's happened, right? So I moved out of Plymouth. I am no longer with who I thought was going to be my forever person. I was dating her before I knew Qigong, and then I was dating her while I started my own path. So moved out, that happened, new job, which, but it's secure. But I've reworked a ton of relationships. I've reworked my relationship with alcohol, with sex, with entertainment, really with myself. And it's all happened, like, one of the things they say as you're a practitioner of Qigong is that you're not supposed to be, if you're in an emotional state, you can't be working on other people. Like, you're going to spill. It's like being sick and being a doctor and getting your shit on them. Like, you're just going to make someone else sick. And so I kind of took, like, the last 3 months off, right? So I think my last session was, like, beginning of November. Thanksgiving hits, I get some wild news and split, and then I'm an emotional up and down roller coaster for a couple months. And just now do I feel as if it's settling. I would argue that it just settled over the weekend. Like, I just feel really centered. And oddly enough, right, 10-year mark of being introduced to this shit is today. Tomorrow, I'm going back for my next practitioner's course. And I feel re-energized, and I feel as if the path has been laid out for me, and I'm very excited for that. So we're just thinking about this cycle that happened, and why, because when we decided on February 22nd, it was, we were scanning through dates randomly, and someone's like, oh, I can't do it because vacation, and oh, I can't do that because I'm going to be gone. How about this day? Yes. Yep. None of this shit's planned. So, like, why the cycle like that? What is that? Is it purely random? Is it some cyclical end and beginning of something else? Like, what is it? Some lunar shit happening? I don't know. There's weird stuff happening, and I can't put my finger on it. And all I can say is that I'm grateful that I can even be alive to experience this. Isn't like a full moon on Sunday, and then what was like the lunar holiday for the Chinese? Just a lot of a lot of weird shit, and it's all lining up, and I don't know why. Like, life just happens for you. And these things happen And I'm not going to go, oh my God, you're just very kismetic. How do you say that? How would you say something is kismet? Kismet's like, fate, right? But to call something, I don't want to give it the noun, I want to give it the adjective. Cosmetic? Sure. Very cosmetic. And so, I'm very excited for tomorrow. I'm very excited to start getting back to this, because one of the things that someone encouraged me to listen to was a podcast that I had taken clips of and sent to her. And I was like, oh, yeah, probably should just fucking watch the whole thing since it's interesting. At least the clips are. At the very end, the question was posed to the guest, how do you define greatness? He's like, oh, that's a good question. And he sat there and he pondered. He's like, because this guy had struggled with always being great, in the sense, like everything had to be great, could never be good. And so it's like, I really think that being great equates to being good at your purpose. And it dawned on me when I heard that. I was like, I know that my purpose is to be helping others and teaching and helping people grow and heal and become the best versions of themselves. And I've been so wrapped up in my own bullshit that I haven't been able to step back into that. And it's been happening little by little, back to coaching, back to teaching. And so now, as I enter this next cycle, I realize that sometimes we just need some dust to settle so we can see really what we need to be doing. And the chips will fall where they may, right? I can't control, cruise control. I can't control what's going to happen around me. Can't control why my relationship ended. That's out of my control. I can't control the weather. That's a lame one. But this is what happens when you don't have coffee. You don't have that jolt that my brain's not firing as quick. But the thought is there. There are a lot of things I can't control. There's a lot of external forces none of us can control. But we control how we react to them. And what I've been thinking about a lot lately is how it's up to us to learn to grow. Everyone wants to harp on their problems and dig themselves into this deep ditch. Oh, I'm fat. Oh, my trauma. Oh, my problems. Focus too much on that shit. Focus on the solution. You have to look at it objectively and go, "Thank you, sir. Sandwiched." You have to look at it objectively. Find your solution, however it may be, whatever it's going to be, and then that has to be what you focus on. That's it. And you just keep doing it. You keep showing up every day. You read the books. You do the sit-ups. You eat right. You find things that are going to help you grow, and you stick with them. You show up every day. It is incremental. It doesn't happen overnight. Think back to who I was 10 years ago, and I wouldn't even hold a conversation with this motherfucker. He's a fool. 28 me. It was, I had a couple fights, and I was getting wrapped up into martial arts, and I probably would have talked to him a little bit, but I'm like, wow, this guy's got a lot of work to do. Hey, look, he's done a lot of work. We're at about 10 minutes. I'm stuck in a traffic jam. I'm writing about this too, so the thoughts will be a little bit more clear on paper, but I do hope this helps someone, and just want you to think that just because it doesn't happen overnight, the growth doesn't happen overnight, the change doesn't happen overnight. It's the same thing that what got you to these problems didn't occur overnight. You didn't put on 30 pounds overnight. You didn't accrue a bunch of bad habits from some traumatic experience overnight. You know, the traumatic experience may have happened overnight, but you realizing how long you've been acting or perceiving the world differently because of that, that's been a long time. You have to unwork that. It takes a lot of positive language and a lot of good habits and catching yourself when you're speaking in a negative tone. It takes a long time, but I know you can do it. I did this shit. I know people can do it. And I want to help. I don't know what that means, but I know I have a lot of tools in the tool bag to do it. We can all get there. We can all be the most positive version of ourselves. I know we can. I've seen it. I am walking it, talking it, rambling for 11 minutes. This is going up. I am posting this. I hope you have a great day. I hope you watch this, and I hope you gain something from it. And see you guys on the other side.